Hello everyone, welcome to Toyeen Talks. Hey, to all our beautiful subscribers, we say thank you so much for staying with us. And if you're here, you are new here, we are happy you find us. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you will be notified for more upcoming videos. In the comment section, please no derogatory comments. Thank you all for watching. Till I will see you in my next video. Stay safe, stay blessed. I love you all. Bye.
Not by Wumi's mom,
By his
by
mom, by
his
his
mom.
mom.
Yes, his
Hakeem
mom.
and I were matched made by his mom in 2015. She persuaded me to marry her son, saying he's a good man. After lots of persuasion, I decided to give in and I gave her my number, my phone number. And Hakeem and I started talking. Little did I know she did that because of my US residency. Hakeem called me and we started talking. I visited Hakeem in Kenya in the year 2016 and 2017 because he resided in Kenya at the time. And I went with a lot of gift items and money. In 2018, we decided to get married and we both traveled to Nigeria for the wedding. Hakeem arrived in Nigeria before me and he was seeing another lady. I was told that the lady left Hakeem's house the same day I arrived in Nigeria. I found out later after the wedding. If not, I wouldn't have proceeded with the wedding. I asked Hakeem about the lady and he didn't deny it but apologized. In 2019, I had my first child with Hakeem.
Karimo
With Jordan and my mother-in-law so Jordan can meet his dad for the first time. This visit was the beginning of my ordeal at the hand of Hakeem and his whole family. Hakeem, his mom, and his sister ganged up on me and attempted to forcefully take Jordan from me. But I threatened to go to the US embassy to report them for abducting my child, which made them stop. I left Nigeria for the US very unhappy. My culture does not believe in divorce. So when I got to the US, Hakeem apologized and we decided to work on our relationship and everything was going on smoothly without the interference of his mom. In December 2020, I traveled to Nigeria again to spend time with Hakeem, even though I was still terrified from my last experience. This time around, I had planned to stay for 4 months. Prior to my visit, hold on please. Prior to my visit, I had asked Hakeem to talk to his mom to let me be at peace and not cause trouble and fight with me during my stay. This time, this time around, because of the length of my stay and previous experience, I decided not to stay at the mom's house. I rented an Airbnb for our privacy and my mental health. It was during this long trip that I discovered how Hakeem has been messing around with different women to the point that I was infected with chlamydia, an STD by him while I was pregnant with my first child, Jordan.
Yay!
During my pregnancy in 2019, my OBGYN requested that I place a call to Hakeem through FaceTime video call due to the outcome of my result, and the doctor told him that he has infected me with chlamydia and that if he doesn't stop messing around with random women, he's putting me and his unborn child in danger. I was threatened with I was treated with azithromycin antibiotics to prevent my unborn from being blind at birth. In March 2021, as my long trip to Nigeria was coming to an end, his longtime lover called in on his phone as he was in the shower. Hakeem ran out of the shower, soap all over his body, slipping and falling because I answered his call. When I questioned who she was, he couldn't tell me. Instead, stammering and saying she's my cousin. So I replied, how come I don't know her as a member of the family? Hakeem's response to the lady on the phone was, my families are here. My families are here. So I called his mom and informed her of the issue, as she was the one who introduced me to Hakeem. When I arrived at my mother-in-law's place, the same lady was already there waiting for us. This lady and his mom assaulted me verbally and physically while Hakeem stood there watching and told me that I brought it upon myself and I did not intervene. I sobbed uncontrollably because I couldn't believe my husband could be on his mistress' side. And his mother and sister were laughing at me while the lady was beating me up. I wanted to quit the marriage that day, but I was afraid for my safety and that of my son. I left Nigeria for the United States with Jordan in March 2021, crying the entire flight. While all this was going on, I had already petitioned for him and he had gotten his immigrant visa. When Hakeem arrived in the United States in April 2021, I asked him about the said lady, and he admitted that the lady was his longtime lover. At this point, I asked him to choose between his marriage to me and his son or his mistress. He couldn't give me an answer right away and requested some time to think about it. In 2022, I recommended Hakeem return to school for nursing to advance his career, but he initially rejected it. But after much persuasion, he agreed to return to school. While he was in school, he was unable to work due to the workload of school. I was unable to work as much as well because I had to stay home with the kids so he could concentrate on studying. His school was not qualified for FAFSA, FAFSA. He had to pay his tuition out of pocket. I was helping to pay his tuition and the bills with the little income I was earning. As time went on, we both realized we needed help with childcare. So I suggested we have Hakeem's mother come over to help with the kids while he goes to school. And I work to help pay the bills. I paid for his mom's visa fee and airplane ticket totaling $2,400. As soon as she arrived, Hakeem told her so many things about me that were not true. She arrived in late August of 2022, and on October 12th, she brought up the subject of Hakeem's mistress who beat me up in Nigeria. I told her I didn't want to talk about it because it was a terrible experience, but she insisted. During this discussion, an argument ensued, and the next thing I remembered was that she gave me a big slap on the right side of my face while I was holding my 9-month-old baby girl, Gracious. She dragged me out of the bedroom to the living room with my clothes while still holding my daughter, and all three of us fell on each other. My daughter was so frightened and was crying profusely. I got up quickly to check and ensure that she didn't get hurt. I hurried out of the house for our safety, called Hakeem to explain what happened to him, and asked him to come back home immediately. I was afraid to go back into the house so she doesn't attack us again. We had to wait in the parking lot for him to arrive. Upon his arrival, he said nothing, and I asked him if he thought it was okay for his mother to physically assault me and his daughter, but he kept quiet. In his presence, the mother unzipped her travel bag and pulled out the 22 pairs of shoes that I had purchased for her to beat me and hurled all 22 pairs of shoes at me, two of which hit my daughter on the head, causing her to cry again. I told Hakeem, you are watching your mother while she beats me and your daughter up. Then Hakeem took Gracious away from me, and his mother was free to beat me up again. I couldn't defend myself because in Africa, particularly in Nigeria and my tribe, you are not permitted to defend yourself against elder abuse. Hakeem hurriedly changed his mother's ticket to Nigeria and drove her to the airport before I could find my phone and call the cops. My life fell apart that day, and while I was suffering in silence in my marriage from various forms of emotional and physical violence, Hakeem stood by and watched his mother beat me and my 9-month-old daughter. This is the second time my mother-in-law has physically assaulted me. I grieved and cried till I was weary of sobbing because Hakeem did not apologize on his mother's behalf. Hakeem's mother informed me that Hakeem was married to his Nigerian mistress because I came into the picture before I came into the picture, that I was only used as a stepping stone to bring Hakeem to America, and I should deal with it. I couldn't believe my ears and begged Hakeem to tell me the truth, but he denied it. Yet he couldn't let go of the said lady. Beginning of this year, I enrolled for the online classes at Manchester Community College to start on January 19, 2023. I went to school for my anatomy and physiology lab sessions, which was scheduled to run from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., but finished at 8:16 p.m. Hakeem was awaiting me at home and continuously calling me around 7:30 p.m., but I couldn't pick up since I didn't want to disrupt my A and P class. At 8:16 p.m. after the lab class, I called Hakeem, who caused at me and asked why I was late. I arrived home at 8:26 p.m. Hakeem told me, I'm going to start hitting you. And I told him that I never reported your mother when she physically assaulted me on October 12, 2022. But if you hit me as you claimed, I will report you. Hakeem unexpectedly smacked me with the back of his palm on my neck. I couldn't breathe for a few minutes, and when I was able to, I contacted the cops. Hakeem fled before the cops arrived at our residence, so they were unable to arrest him. He eventually apologized, and while I was unable to press charges, I was able to obtain a restraining order against him and my children. This, the DCYF also called to my house to check on me and the kids. Hakeem begged and assured me he would change, but it only became worse. The DCYF lady asked him to give me and the kids space for our own safety. We went to the 9th Circuit Court in Manchester, New Hampshire, NH, for a domestic violence hearing on March 23rd, 2023. Prior to the hearing date, a family member intervened. After the hearing, I begged Hakeem to move back to the house and start over because of the kids. Hakeem told me he's done with me and can't wait to get his citizenship next year and give me and the kids the middle finger. He also informed me that he purposefully rented an apartment near my house so that he could emotionally assault me with women because he wanted me to witness him with other women. He's also on a dating website chatting with older wealthy women. Hakeem told me that he used me as a stepping stone to get to the United States and that he can't wait to gain his citizenship so that he may move to another country. He also filed out Form I-130 for his long-term partner. We are currently separated, no longer live together, and are in the process of filing for divorce. I was totally enslaved and used by him and his family, all in the name of marriage. I was financially extorted by him and his family and paid all his immigration processing fees to bring Hakeem to the United States. He never loved from the beginning. It was all a scam devised by him and his mother. but I was too foolish and in love to figure it out in time. I kept forgiving him because of the kids. I do not want them to be a product of a broken home, just like me. Àti sọ̀rọ̀ tán. That's where it ended. Reactions, reactions, reactions. Over to panelists. Ẹ ṣé o. President, I'll take water. Don't worry.
ó lè gbẹnu tán o ó gbẹnu tán gidi
ọ̀rọ̀
ni
yẹn pọ̀ o.
bí
Please,
ọ̀rọ̀
we need that. We need it all.
bí ọ̀rọ̀ president. But you see, eventually, without being a shrink, I think that some of us have also mentioned that most of all of these people, Karimat inclusive, are only projecting. So it is easier for them to conjure up all of these scenarios because it is their reality.
projection yẹn pọ̀ àǹtí mi.
I'm telling you, èmi inú wọn ṣe ẹ lọ wádìí ṣe ìyá wọn ló pa bàbá wọn. Ó tọrọ máa dàbí ìsọkúsọ projection ni èmi inú wọn bàbá wọn ló pa ìyá wọn. That's why it is easier to narrate such stories. Ṣé gbọ́n sìn? Àṣé story tó wà ní orí Karima ni Karima ń sọ síta tó ní wọ́n fún ọmọ Wunmi ní infection. Abájọ tó bọ́ síta tó lóun ò béèyàn kankan sọ yú ẹ̀. Ṣáwá ti rí bí tí infection ti wá báyìí.
ṣe rí
Tẹ́rí bí
olórí burúkú ni Karimo o.
Tẹ́rí bí tí infection ti wá báyìí. Àti mọ bí tí infection ti wá. Hakeem, kí ló dé tó fún Karima ní infection? Hakeem.
Karimo olórí bú ni Karimo o.
Because
irú ọmọ ìyá wo leléyìí nítorí Ọlọ́run? What kind of a human being is this?
kí ló ń pè infection ní Yorùbá? Ìwọ ló ní kòkòrò ajẹnirun àbí kòkòrò jẹrajẹra. O wá fẹ́ project ẹ̀ sórí Mohbad àtọmọ Wunmi.
Jerry, people tend to believe her because she's the sister.
No,
So
because
wọ́n feel
they are
like
dumb. Because
Oh,
they are
God.
dumb. As people like Aries didn't fall for it. I mean, she said certain things, and I'm like, okay, orí ẹ wà ńbẹ̀. Ní eléyìí tó sọ yìí o, orí ẹ wà ńbẹ̀. So not everybody fell for it. If you go and look at those who are falling for it, they are the mischievous lots. Those mischievous people, those ones who just want anything that would confirm, suit the narrative they already have in their head. But the truth is, kò sí bí Karima ṣe lè try láti ọ̀la títí dé ọ̀túnla. Her reality is not ọmọ Wunmi's story. So you all can project àtẹ̀yí tí ìyá ẹ̀ pa bàbá ẹ̀, àtẹ̀yí tí bàbá ẹ̀ pa ìyá ẹ̀, àti mí inú yín gan tẹ́tí attempt láti pọkọ yín rí.
so ìyá rẹ̀ nìkan kọ́ ló ń bú, ìyá kọ́ rẹ̀ náà Karimo.
Lágbára Ọlọ́run òun la rí.
Karimo oráyé ẹ̀ báyìí.
That British
Okay,
in
wọ́n ní
this
àrùn
thing we
jẹ̀ríjẹ̀rí.
in this thing we just heard now. She said something. She said she was grieving. So it's safe to say that number one, she was grieving the death of her marriage, the delusional marriage, and it's safe to say she's actually a widow. What do you think?
Baby,
It looks like it o. Because
I'm
she
telling
ẹ wo mi bá dẹ̀
So
ṣàánú
she's
ẹ̀ bí ẹ bá ṣe
jealous
orí
of-
burúkú tó ṣe o.
She's jealous of Wunmi for being like a celebrity, and her husband's death has made her so popular. So she wants to take that same spotlight because her marriage is actually dead. Like literally
Actually,
dead.
she could have been. She actually, this is when you don't move with people who have common sense. She could have had the same fame without being this negative towards her sister. She could, by supporting her sister and standing by her sister positively, she could still have the same platform she has today.
That's why she will do everything possible to make sure Omomi and Mama Mo don't get along. Because that's the same thing that's happening with her.
Mm-hmm.
She will do everything till she stops breathing. She will make sure both of them are not together.
And
Because
even
her
So she's jealous
mother-in-law
of her
is...
sister.
yeah,
She is.
also I think if Mama Mohbad can hear this, you know, it says a lot really. Look at
100%.
Omowumi that has a mother-in-law
In-law. Mm-hmm.
supporting her, standing by her,
Gidigba.
as against she tó jẹ́ pé òun
One lonely.
wọ́n
She
lò ó
doesn't have a mother-in-law. She's a stepping stone.
Ọlọ́run akaba kọ́ nìyẹn.
ó ń jowú Wunmi fún nǹkan tó láàkì láyé
Let
ẹ̀.
me have one more to
ó ń
it.
jowú
Wetin Mr.
Wunmi fún
Dara
nǹkan tó
sọ.
láàkì láyé ẹ̀.
You know, I don't want to be like letting her project it, but this
Ẹ
is
jẹ́ kí n má
the
dẹ̀lẹ̀ ọkàn mọ̀.
expose.
Karimo, ó gbé account Ọmọ́wùnmí síta thinking kí wọ́n lọ ṣe investigation wípé account mọ́mì yín ló fi ń gbàwó. Ìwọ ló lose jẹ́ wá sọ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ fún ẹ. Ṣòro account tó gbé síta yẹn, àwọn tí wọn ò tiẹ̀ tí ì fún Ọmọ́wùnmí rí lówó. Alátìkọ́ ń wọlé ní gbáùn bó ṣe gbá account yẹn jáde. Ìwọ lójú tì o, ìwọ ló ṣòfò ara, ìwọ ló ṣòfò ẹ̀mí. Bí aláti ṣe ń wọlé níwájú ló ń wọlé lẹ́yìn, ojú tì ẹ̀. Wo Ọmọ́wùnmí má ga sọ lọ́ntì ẹ̀.